Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Just so you know you're in the right place, in this video I'm going to go over all the major music festivals taking place in the United States this year, 70 festivals in total, and I will show you where you can view a full interactive calendar that has all of these festivals I'm going to talk about with all of their information and lineups. So happy new year. I haven't really posted any new content on YouTube or social media in quite a long time. I did a lot of traveling all over the world. I went to a lot of festivals in 2019 and I really just needed a vacation from vacationing. And I feel a lot better, so thank you everyone for your patience. So not posting a lot, but I have been working on this huge project. I put together this epic rave EDM music festival calendar online for all the major music festivals taking place in the United States this year. And at the end of this video, I will show you how to use it. You can actually filter and search for music festivals in your area by location, genre, all that good stuff. Before I jump into this massive list of music festivals, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you're new here, my name is Cotton Candy. I'm a music festival blogger, so you'll find tons of awesome videos of music festivals and raves I've been to all over the world, and I have tons more to come in 2020. Okay, so yeah, let's jump into it. This is a list of 70 awesome music festivals that are taking place in the US this year. A couple of these already passed, but they're annual, so they will be happening again next year. Groove Cruise was a festival that took place in Miami, Florida, January 9th through the 13th, so just barely passed. The headliners this year were Above and Beyond, Kashmir, Loco Dice, Marcus Scholes, Nora En Pure, Roger Sanchez, and so many more awesome acts on the lineup. Wobbleland San Francisco was January 17th and had a massive stacked dubstep lineup featuring Zed's Dead, Adventure Club, Liquid Strangers, and so many more. As you will notice in this video, there are actually a few different Wobblelands that take place in different parts of the country throughout the year. Okeechobee Music and Arts Festival, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, takes place in Okeechobee, Florida, March 5th through the 8th of this year. This is a multi-genre event, so not EDM exclusive. Yes, you have your big EDM names like Rufus Du Sol, Bass Nectar, Alice in Wonderland, Cascade, but you also have really good bands on the lineup. Crossed Festival takes place in San Diego, California, March 7th and 8th, featuring Rufus Du Sol, Chris Lake, Nora En Pure, Patrick Topping, Carl Cox, Charlotte DeWitt, and many more great acts. Get Lucky will be March 13th and 14th in Salt Lake City, Utah, featuring Dylan Francis, Fisher, Good Times Ahead, Mala, Nora En Pure, Valentino Khan. I'm seeing Nora En Pure on like all of these lineups so far. Ultra Music Festival is of course one of the biggest music festivals in the whole United States. It will be taking place March 20th through the 22nd in Miami, Florida. Phase 1 of the lineup is all that has been released for the festival so far, but it's already stacked. Flume, Major Lazer, Zed, Above and Beyond, Afrojack, Armin van Buuren, Carl Cox. I mean, it goes on forever, and the lineup is only going to get crazier once they start announcing Phase 2, 3, and I think there's usually a Phase 4 lineup. Beyond Wonderland taking place in San Bernardino, California, March 20th through the 21st. An Insomniac festival, so as usual, the lineup is very diverse and stacked. Buku Music and Art Project will also be taking place on March 20th and 21st, but in New Orleans, Louisiana. Genuinely not sure about that pronunciation. This is not just an EDM event, this is a multi-genre event. So you have different types of dance music and there's a lot of really good dubstep music on there. You will notice that a lot of these festivals do not have the 2020 lineup yet because it is too early in the year, but I will include the lineups from last year, 2019, so you can get a feel for what the lineup will be like. Phoenix Lights will be taking place April 3rd and 4th in Phoenix, Arizona. This is the lineup and apparently it is the biggest festival done by Relentless Beats. Another Wobbleland event is in Denver. They haven't released any information on it yet, but based on the date last year, I would say that the projected date for this year's edition would be on April 4th, and this is the lineup from last year. Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival is another one of the biggest music festivals that takes place in the United States. It's actually 2 weekends long, so it takes place April 10th through the 12th, and then April 17th through the 18th. It takes place in Indio, California, and it is a multi-genre event. So it has EDM, hip-hop, pop, rock, alternative rock, very diverse lineup, and has some of the biggest names. Ubbi Dubbi or Ooby Dooby, I'm genuinely not sure at this point, will take place April 18th through the 19th in Dallas, Texas. And here's the lineup for this year, but apparently they're going to be announcing a lot more. more. This one, Rolling Loud Miami, takes place in Miami, Florida, May 8th through the 10th. Although the lineups can have EDM on them, it is predominantly a hip-hop event. But they're so big, it definitely needs to be included in this video. Hangout Festival is going to take place May 15th through the 17th on the beaches of Gulf Shores in Alabama. It is a multi-genre event, so it has EDM, rock, pop, alternative rock, very diverse and very stacked lineup. I feel like literally all the names on this lineup are huge. And I love these multi-genre events, like the fact that you can see all of these great acts that don't normally belong together, like all in one place. I love it. Billie Eilish, Lana Del Rey, Illenium, huge Illenium fan here. I would love to attend this. EDC Las Vegas, another one of the biggest music festivals in the United States, takes place May 15th through the 17th in Las Vegas, Nevada. The lineup for this year, 2020, has yet to be released, but every year there are just so many acts, and even though it is predominantly an EDM event, it features all of the different genres and subgenres of EDM. Everything from house, trance, big room, techno, hardstyle, literally everything, and then there always seem to be a few hip-hop acts here and there, including Drake actually came and performed at this festival once. Lightning in a Bottle will take place May 20th through the 25th in Bakersfield, California. Here's the lineup for this year, which just barely got announced. Movement Electronic Music Festival takes place Saturday, May 23rd through the 25th. A couple years ago, I was under the impression that it was mostly a techno event, maybe also some house artists, but looking at last year's lineup, there was definitely like non-techno acts. I find that very interesting, and I'm intrigued to see what the lineup looks like for 2020. Sunset Music Festival takes place every May in Tampa, Florida. The projected dates are May 23rd through the 24th based on last year, and the 2020 lineup has not been announced yet either, but here is the lineup from last year. Another Wobbleland event, Wobbleland in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The projected dates are May 30th through the 31st based on last year. The Governor's Ball Music Festival will be taking place June 5th through the 7th in New York City, New York. The 2020 lineup is yet to be announced, but here is the lineup from last year. It is a multi-genre event, so it has EDM, hip-hop, rock, very diverse lineup. Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival is going to take place June 11th through the 14th in Manchester, Tennessee. The 2020 lineup is yet to be announced, but it is a multi-genre event. EDM, hip-hop, rock, alternative rock. I mean, literally the acts are so different. Childish Gambino, RL Grime, Post Malone, Odessa. Oh my gosh, I would love to see Odessa. The Lumineers, Illenium, Walk the Moon, like acts you don't think you would normally see together. And it takes place on a farm. Like, I just want to go so bad. Paradiso is going to take place June 13th and 14th at the Gorge Amphitheater in Washington. The Gorge is by far one of the most beautiful venues I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of music festivals all over the world. It is truly breathtaking, and if you don't hit up Paradiso, you need to hit up at least another festival that takes place at the Gorge because it is so worth it. The 2020 dates haven't officially been announced yet, but based on the previous years, I think it would be June 13th through the 14th, and the 2020 lineup hasn't been announced, but here was the 2019 lineup. Firefly Music Festival will take place June 18th through the 21st in Dover, Delaware. This is a completely new festival to my knowledge, like I never heard of it before I put together this calendar. I don't know why Delaware just seems like an obscure place to me to have such a big music festival. It's multi-genre. You have EDM, hip-hop, rock, some of the biggest names genuinely. Last year's 2019 lineup had like Panic at the Disco, Travis Scott, Post Malone. Those are huge. Great EDM on the lineup. Zedd, Lois the Child, Kygo, Alice in Wonderland, Grizz. Can't wait to see the 2020 lineup. Sonic Bloom will take place June 18th through the 21st in Colorado. The 2020 lineup has not been announced, but here is the 2019 lineup. Electric Forest is another one of the biggest music festivals in the United States, or maybe it's not like the biggest physically or attendee-wise, but it's one of the most famous because it's so unique. It will be taking place June 25th through the 28th in Rothbury, Michigan. The lineup is wild and huge, just as it is every year. What's interesting though is the previous years it used to be 2 weekends, and this year it is only 1 weekend. Camp Bisco, I think is how you pronounce it, will be taking place July 9th through the 11th in Scranton, Pennsylvania. This was the lineup from last year. It does look like a multi-genre event, though I think it leans more towards the EDM side. Global Dance Festival takes place annually in Denver, Colorado. My projected dates based on the years before are July 18th and 19th. This was the lineup from last year and it was insane. Although it is an EDM event, I appreciate the different genres. There's trance, dubstep, drum and bass, house. There's just like so many different genres. Lollapalooza takes place annually in Chicago, Illinois. This year's edition will take place July 30th through August 2nd. It is a multi-genre event, so features hip hop, EDM, rock, alternative rock. The lineup for this year hasn't been announced, but here is last year's. Ariana Grande, Childish Gambino, 21 Pilots, like those are big names. It really is so diverse. Like I see Tenacious D in there. Huge Death Cab for Cutie fan right here. Hard Summer Music Festival is going to take place August 1st and 2nd. The 2020 lineup has not been announced yet, but here's the 2019 lineup. It is another multi-genre event, so features EDM, hip-hop, pop. Always a really big stacked lineup. Outside Lands takes place in San Francisco, California on August 7th and 9th this year. The 2020 lineup is not released yet, but here's the 2019 one. Another multi-genre event, the usual EDM, hip-hop, pop, rock. Moonrise Festival, I'm projecting will take place August 8th through the 9th in Baltimore, Maryland. As it is held annually, here is the lineup from 2019, which was insane. Honestly, one of the biggest EDM lineups I feel like I saw last year during the summer. DOS Energy Festival will be taking place August 14th and 15th in Salt Lake City, Utah. The 2020 lineup has not been announced, but here is the 2019 lineup, and I went last year in 2019 and I had a really good time. It was like my third year going and they always have a good lineup. Bass Canyon, the dates were just announced, is going to take place August 28th through the 30th at the Gorge Amphitheater in Washington. I already mentioned that this venue is like literally one of the 7 wonders of the world, but this festival is strictly a dubstep festival. So it's an acquired taste for a lot of people. They might not be able to handle that much dubstep, but if you love dubstep, this is like the place to be. I would love to go this year. I have to go back to the Gorge. Electric Zoo will be taking place in New York. Projected dates August 28th through the 30th based on the previous years. The lineup is always stacked. 2020 is obviously not announced yet, but here is 2019, and I went in 2018 and the lineup was also insane that year. Burning Man is another one of the most famous festivals, not really a festival, but like event that takes place in the United States. It will be taking place August 30th through September 7th in Black Rock City, Nevada, which is a city that they create specifically for Burning Man, or like the city is Burning Man. It's really cool. I would look into this festival. It's a very unique experience. It's not something that could be described, and there's more to it than just what I could find online for the music lineup. So this was from last year, 2019, but there are a bunch of different areas playing music. There's not a set area where you can view all of the DJs and bands that are playing music during the festival. Another Wobbleland event, this one taking place in Dallas. Projected date would be September 5th. Lineup obviously not announced yet, but here is last year's. Dance Festopia will be taking place September 10th through the 13th in Kansas City, Kansas. Always has a really good lineup. Here's the lineup for last year. Nocturnal Wonderland is changing venues. I don't know if that means it's changing dates, but if the dates stay the same as last year, it'll be taking place September 12th through the 13th in San Bernardino, California. Again, they are changing location, so I don't know if it's actually going to take place in San Bernardino this year, but we shall see. Obviously, the 2020 lineup is not announced yet, but here's the lineup from last year. Imagine Music Festival will be taking place September 17th through the 20th in Atlanta, Georgia. The lineup for this year has not been announced yet, but here is the lineup from last year. Life is Beautiful will take place September 18th through the 20th in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. Another multi-genre event, so EDM, hip-hop, pop, alternative rock, a little bit of all that. Chance the Rapper, Post Malone, Billie Eilish, Vampire Weekend. I feel like looking at these 2019 lineups, a lot of these people were performing at like literally every festival. But again, I love that you can see these different types of music all in one place. Just like Bass Canyon, they have announced the dates for Lost Lands, which is like one of the biggest, or like the biggest, dubstep festival in the country, which will be taking place September 25th through the 27th in Legend Valley, Ohio. The lineup has obviously yet to be released, as they just barely announced the dates, but needless to say, so many great dubstep acts will be on this lineup. Rolling Loud, Bay Area, my projected dates for this would be September 26th through the 27th, taking place in Oakland, California. Gold Rush Music Festival will be taking place September 26th through the 27th in Phoenix, Arizona. The 2020 lineup has not been announced yet. We are getting really far away from right now, it being January. All of these events from now on are going to be taking place at the end of the year, so this is the lineup from last year. This is the fall edition of Cross Festival. My projected dates are September 26th through the 27th, based on the previous years, taking place in San Diego, California, same location as the spring edition. Austin City Limits is 2 weekends. It will take place in Austin, Texas, Friday, October 7th through the 4th, and then October 9th through the 11th. It is a multi-genre event, so EDM, pop, rock, alternative rock. This is a festival I'm gonna try and hit up this year because the lineup was so good the previous years. The Dirty Bird Campout, based on previous years, I'm gonna say will take place October 3rd through the 4th in Waterford, California. Rolling Loud, New York, I am projecting will take place October 10th through the 11th in Queens, New York. Here is the lineup from last year, again, predominantly hip-hop event. Now we are going to get into the Halloween festivals. There are quite a few because everyone wants to party on Halloween, everyone wants to party on New Year's. So get freaky. Projected dates will take place October 24th or 31st based on the previous years, taking place in Salt Lake City, Utah, and here's the lineup from last year. Escape Psycho Circus will take place October 30th and 31st in San Bernardino, California. This was the lineup last year. Honestly, probably one of my favorite festivals in the whole world, which says a lot because I've been to a lot of festivals. It's an Insomniac event, so the people who do EDC Las Vegas, and it is honestly like a mini EDC, but Halloween themed. It's awesome. Freaky Deaky, my projected dates are going to be October 30th through the 31st in Houston, Texas, based on the previous years. Here's the lineup from last year, and I honestly think it was the best lineup or one of the best Halloween lineups in the US last year. Voodoo Music and Arts Festival will take place October 30th through November 1st. In New Orleans, Louisiana. It is a multi-genre event, so EDM, alternative rock, pop, rock. I've always wanted to go to this festival because it's just such a stacked lineup, but it is so hard because there are literally so many Halloween festivals, it's hard to choose. Freak Night will most likely take place October 31st in Seattle, Washington, as it does yearly. Here's the lineup from last year. Supernatural will probably also take place October 31st. The fact that Halloween is just on a Saturday this year, like all of the Halloween festivals, are probably going to take place that day, and it will be taking place in Denver, Colorado. Hard Day of the Dead will take place in Los Angeles, California. Projected date is November 7th. EDC Orlando will be taking place November 13th through the 15th this year in Orlando, Florida. This year is going to be the 10-year anniversary, which is a big deal. I went last year. I might attend this year just because it's like the 10-year anniversary. Here was the lineup for last year. Dream State, which takes place in San Bernardino, California yearly, I am projecting will take place November 20th through the 21st, most likely, and it is an all-trance event. Another Rolling Loud event, this one taking place in Los Angeles, projected dates December 12th through the 13th. Here's the lineup from last year. Now we're gonna get into all of the New Year's festivals, which there will be a lot because like everyone wants to party on New Year's, right? So Lights All Night will most likely take place December 5th through the 26th in Dallas, Texas, based on the dates from past years. Here was the lineup for 2019. Hijinks Festival is a dubstep festival. Projected dates will be December 25th through the 26th of this year in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The lineup last year was the best dubstep lineup for New Year's, hands down. OMFG NYE projected dates will be December 30th through the 31st in San Diego, California. Here is the lineup for this past year. Audiotistic is a one-day event, not necessarily meant to be a New Year's festival, but it's held so close to New Year's. Projected date would be December 26th, and it takes place in San Bernardino, California. Snow Globe takes place in South Lake Tahoe, California. Projected dates for this year, December 29th through the 31st. I mean, there is EDM, but it seems like every year it becomes more and more predominantly hip-hop festival. And it is now run by MTV, which is kind of interesting. Decadence, Arizona takes place in Chandler, Arizona. Projected dates would be December 30th through the 31st, as it is a New Year's Eve festival. This was my last festival I attended in 2019, and the last Millennium Ascend live show of 2019 was so worth it. Decadence Colorado takes place in Denver, Colorado. Projected dates December 30th through the 31st. This lineup I think was the best EDM lineup in the US for New Year's last year. Tiesto, Bass Nectar, DJ Diesel, Don Diablo, like these are all huge names. Stevie Aoki, Fisher, Gareth Emery. I wanted to go so bad to see Gareth Emery, but I just went to Lights All Night and Decadence Arizona back to back instead last year. Snow Tut is held in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I hope I pronounced that right. Projected dates obviously going to be December 30th through the 31st as well. Really good lineup. I would have loved to attend this festival that year. Radiance NYE takes place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and will take place most likely December 31st, of course, it being a New Year's Eve event. Last but not least on this list is Countdown in San Bernardino, California, which will take place on December 31st. Here was the lineup from last year. Thank you for sticking with me through this huge list of music festivals I had to share with you guys. I did mention the interactive calendar I made online that you can check out. It's super awesome. It was a lot of work. The link is in the description. The thing that's most interactive about it is that you can change the way you view it. So over here in the right hand side where it says tile view, this is the default view I chose because I think all of the lineups are really pretty. You can click on it and there are different viewing options. The poster board lets you see the full lineups. Stream view and the agenda view are nice because it kind of condenses it and makes it easy to just see them in order and then just see the locations. I'm gonna go back to the title view because I think that's one of the cleanest ways to view it. Over in the left hand side, you're going to see categories. So I organized these into different categories and tags. So if you're into dubstep, you can filter it by dubstep festivals. And I still need to do some work because there were definitely more dubstep events I need to add to this, but you get the picture. Insomniac festivals are their own category because I do know that they have the festival passport. So people who have this are able to go to all Insomniac events for a monthly fee. It's honestly a really great deal. So if you do have the Insomniac passport, you can filter on this calendar only Insomniac events so you can see what events you can attend with your passport. There's obviously more. I do have some more work to do. Under tags, as far as location, I did organize them based on East Coast and West Coast. There's typically a lot more events on the West Coast, to be honest. If you go to venues, it's organized by city. So yeah, that was a lot of work. I hope you guys appreciate it. Like I said, I will link to it in the description. It was kind of hard for me to go through all of the events that happened throughout the year and kind of narrow down what is a festival. There are literally so many events that happen. A lot of them are EDM concerts and smaller festivals. I can't put all of them on this calendar. There's no way I can track all of them. I'm just one person. But feel free to comment in this video if you have any recommendations of events you think I should add to the calendar. If you appreciate all this hard work, I would appreciate it if you guys would give a like to this video and subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me. Thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to bring you more awesome music festival videos in 2020. Until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts.